Okay, so here is a linear actuator meant for plasma cutters. So your CNC plasma cutter, it's a Z-axis for a NEMA 23 motor. It's got a floating head. And it is adjustable. The proxy is adjustable. You can set it up at different height. The spring tension is also adjustable, so you could just undo the bolts and move that down. Also limits the travel. If you like more spring tension, you could change the spring out. It's just a standard spring. Regular proxy sensor, or you could attach a different sensor to the setup. This is how it would slide. And this is the actual setup. Just a closer look of the build quality here. Alright, so here we have the Z-axis with the torch attached, and I attached it at this height, but you can attach it at any height you need. I want to point out also the system. It has the slider that it has for the touch off. Okay, so it's just got a spring system that's pushing on the slide itself, which also has a linear rail, a 12mm linear rail, and the proxy sensor. The sensor itself can be moved up or down, so you could just remove the screws and move it up or down. And the slide itself can also be adjusted. So by just taking off the screws, and you have some adjustability of that bracket up and down according to the needs of whoever's building the plasma cutter. So having that flexibility can accommodate many different designs and heights and whatever the situation may be. The spring itself can be changed out to a stronger spring if you desire, but gravity itself is sufficient holding down the head. Once you attach it, and the weight of the head will keep the head down, but you could swap out the spring for a stronger spring. All the parts that are on the axes that are moving are just standard off-the-shelf parts that can be swapped out if need be. So we have here a ball screw, a 1204 ball screw that is 250 millimeters long. We also have 15 millimeter linear rails and blocks, and everything can be swapped out if need be. If in time they get worn out, you can swap them out and change them. Now the design is a little bit unconventional. The fact that the torch is on the larger plate on the back, in my opinion, allows for a lot more flexibility and clearance. What you're used to seeing is where the assembly is attached onto the slider itself, and the larger plate is attached to the gantry, or let's say X-axis in this case. So just for demonstration purposes, I have here just a linear actuator, a Samsung linear actuator. So if you were to attach it as such to whatever setup you have, you can raise it once the ball screw and the motor and everything's under power. You could raise it very high up and have that clearance underneath here, where if you were to attach it in this way, a lot of times you lose a lot of clearance. You'd have to end up attaching it probably just about here, and you have a certain section that hangs lower than usual. It hangs lower, but in this case, once this slide is brought all the way up, it touches off there and it stops there. That practically allows you to have a setup probably something like this, so even higher up, depending on how you're going to attach this. You can attach another plate to this and then attach that to your setup. So whichever way you would attach it, higher or lower, it'll give you that clearance underneath here, and then that way you can adjust your torch whatever height you want. That gives you a little more room to work with.